setting up. Okay, now I think we're actually live. It says setting up for Facebook Live. Okay, so I think we're live. I think so. Yes. Okay, so hey guys, today we're talking all about how to sell your physical products using Pinterest. And I have one of my rock star students with me, Canal Lewis. Let me just do like a super brief introduction about Canal because he is a rock star. He is a self-taught visual artist who specializes in line art as well as digital painting. He has a passion for art and aspires to inspire other artists to push the boundaries of their imagination. And he also hopes to spread awareness of love and patience with his works. He has been recognized by celebrities like Zendaya, who featured his fashion illustration of her on her app called Zenzine. Okay, so cool. So cool. So let's just start with you telling us a little bit about yourself.
All right. I've been passionate about art since I was a child. My name is Kenal Lewis. My background, I'm Haitian, so I was born in the Caribbean, and I know you had another Caribbean guest, Belkis. I can't
Belkis
remember.
Clark. Belkis
Yes.
Clark.
So
Mhm.
I did listen to that podcast, and it was touching and very inspiring. Just as a note, so you guys need to go check out that podcast as well. But
For sure.
yeah, so my background is in art. I've been passionate about art since I was a child. My dream was to be an artist, and at 27 years old, I am living that dream now. And I am working to scale and continue to build on that. And I believe as a creative person, it's a lifelong journey. Anything you're
Mhm.
passionate about, especially like when it comes to passion, that's something that you should be willing to do for the rest of your life. um,
Mhm.
which which is where I'm at right now. As you mentioned, like I specialize in line art, digital painting. I have an educational background in graphic design. So all around creative arts, pretty much. I
So
don't know.
cool. Okay,
Mhm.
so this is something that you knew you wanted to do since you were a kid. On
Yeah,
your blog, I love that you have this picture of you when you were what, like 3 or 4 years old,
yeah, I
and you
was
were
4.
that was so cute. It's the cutest picture.
Yep, it's the cutest picture of me out there.
Oh my goodness, I love it. So talk to us about how you've used social media to sell your art because you have an Instagram following of almost 10,000, right?
Yes.
Okay, so how does that come into play?
So how that comes into play, and I have to say, Pinterest is the biggest driving force in traffic, and that has changed everything for me. So taking your course and using Pinterest is the key first.
Okay.
Now, with regards to like Instagram and Facebook, I have a public art Facebook page as well, which has like 2,000 likes and people that follow it. But the engagement is so low on both Facebook and Instagram now after it was bought and the algorithm changes and all. But with
Hmm.
10,000 followers, I still inspire, I still reach many people. I have people that message me all the time regarding how do I do certain art. So they'll mostly ask me questions on how I do the artwork that I do. And,
So did you actually make sales having 10,000 followers?
I've had work, not necessarily sales. And by work, I mean
Okay.
like commission art, So I
Okay.
have had like, I would say, not more than a handful, maybe 5 people out of like, since in the last 2 years that have
Five
reached,
people in the last 2 years and
yeah,
10,000 followers on
yeah.
Instagram. Wow.
So it's ridiculous. But um so they've contacted me to do like personal projects or personal artwork for, like, let's say I had this gentleman that had me commission me to do a portrait of his daughter. And so I did that. I had an author I've done 2 book covers for that discovered me through Instagram. I had another lady that commissioned me to paint her with this idea that she had through
Yeah.
Instagram as well. And all that's in the recent 2 years. I would really say 1 year because my followers didn't grow up or blow up till close to like 9,000 until this year. Prior to last year, I believe I was around like 4,000. So it's doubled in a year. Um,
It's doubled, but you've only made five sale or
yeah,
five.
Yeah.
kind of either sales or commissions
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
So it's
Okay.
very low. And how I did that is, there's different techniques and strategies you can use. You can use giveaways, prizes, contests. I haven't actually done any of that. The way that I've done it is I've done it through promotional pages that are related to my niche. So
Mm-hmm.
wherever you are, there are influencers that will shout you out to help you build your audience. Part of the problem I think that's in that, it looks good, it's great, and it also builds your brand, is that those followers are coming to you because someone else referred them to you. They're not necessarily going to be there and engage the most with your content.
For
So
sure.
that's what I realized. So to be honest with
Yeah.
you, it would be better to have less followers that are highly engaging, that are
Yeah.
purely there for you versus they came through a referral.
A shout out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So talk about what happened when you found me. So what was going through your head and how did you find me?
I found you on Tailwind. I found you on the Tailwind app.
Tailwind.
Yeah. So I,
Yeah.
I had been on Tailwind for about a year prior to taking the course. So I knew about it. I had been on Pinterest as well, but I believe I was at 1.8 million monthly viewers,
Wow.
and I was only getting like 2 clicks to my website a day.
2 clicks a day with 1.8 monthly. Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, okay,
Okay.
something is wrong. And I came across.
There's a disconnect somewhere if people aren't clicking through.
Right.
Yeah.
So I discovered a pin that you had on one of the Tailwind tribes. And from there, it took me to your site. I went to your site. I looked at everything. I looked at the packages and I was like, okay, this looks like something interesting. And I'm going to reach out to her. And that's when I messaged you for the course and the one-on-one coaching. I believe that's what I messaged you for. And then you had me take the
Yeah.
course. But when I saw your pin and I saw the results that you had shared at the time, what was running to my head is I believe in investing in myself.
Yes.
I
Oh,
believe
yes. Me
I
too.
believe spending is not, when you're building a business, you're not spending money, but you're investing that money. So,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to educational side of things, where you're learning a new skill set or you're learning something that's going to grow your business, it's an investment you're making in yourself or your business in your future. So that's how I saw it. So I made the investment, took the course, and I mean, with any investment you're making, you want to see the results. So I put
Hmm.
things into action. I implemented things. I worked on it, and I worked on it like I paid you $20,000 because
You
because
did.
because
Yeah.
there's I believe there's so much value and so many things that I had learned that I couldn't wait to put them into place to see
Hmm.
what happened. But yeah,
Okay. So how long did it take for you to go through Pin with Purpose?
I went through Pen with Purpose in 3 days.
3 days.
3
Okay.
days, 3 days. And
Three
part,
days. Boom.
I took a weekend. I think I started on like a Friday, and I was done with the course by Monday. And
Okay.
it was, I was writing, taking notes, going through it, and I knocked it out because I believe we had our first call scheduled a few days after, and I wanted to go through the course, you know, to be able to ask you questions that you did not answer in the course.
Yeah.
I think that was
Have it
like,
more like tailored specifically for you, which was
yeah,
cool. That
and
was fun.
the value, I would say, like, the value in doing that, or the benefit of doing that, was I was able, everything you answered in the course, like, I didn't have to ask you twice. Like, I didn't have to ask you a question that you already answered in module 3.
Hmm.
So that was what was running through my head. And I was like, well, I'm gonna knock this out so that way I can create questions or have specific questions I can ask her when I actually speak to her. And that was amazing. Doing the one-on-one coaching after the course was so beneficial, and
Yeah.
I believe is key to why I'm succeeding and why I'm seeing the results I'm seeing right now.
Awesome. So what are some of the results that you've seen? This has been what, 60 days since you
It
had
hasn't even been 60 days.
less than 60 days. Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been 60 days. Let's see. When did I take March, April? Yeah, it has not been 60 days. I believe next month, the 16th. I'll have to double
Okay,
check.
so like 45 days,
Yeah, 45 days or
something like
so.
that. Yeah.
But my monthly viewers alone doubled.
Okay.
It was at 1.9. Now it's showing 4 million. It fluctuates between
4
three.
million.
Yeah. It
Crazy.
fluctuates between 3 to 4 million monthly viewers on Pinterest. My traffic went from 2 clicks a day to averaging like 60. Sometimes, like I think I peaked like 200 visitors to my website in one day.
From
So
two
from
to,
two
p- wow.
yeah, so from 200, and when it was happening, I was like, "What is going on? I'm going
Yeah.
viral," you know. But what was happening was people were saving a lot of the pins that I created to their boards. I think I had like 500 people that day save my pins, which was
Okay.
insane. And I learned that Pinterest, a large amount of the users on Pinterest are planners, which makes sense. You
Yep.
know, they're saving ideas for themselves to try, or they're saving ideas, to buy, they're saving ideas, to learn from, and so on. There's so many uses for the content on Pinterest. And
Yeah.
it's part of that, I believe, that allows Pinterest to really help you scale your business long term and continually drive traffic because people save things to
Mhm.
utilize later on, which has been amazing.
Okay. So talk to us about what you're pinning. Are you pinning like things to your artwork where people are actually going to just buy it directly right there? Or are you creating content around your artwork?
Oh, no, I am not
What?
penning anything like products. So what I'm doing is I'm creating content. I'm creating blogs specifically. I create
But
blogs.
you're an artist. Why are you creating content?
Well,
What?
wait a minute. Wait a minute. So
Uh-huh.
I'm
Yeah, yeah.
creating I'm creating blogs to share my thoughts. It's easy to just pin a product from your art store on Society 6, which is um a print on demand company, Fine Art
Yeah.
America, Pixels. There's so many companies you can add prints to, or list your site like Etsy, list products on there and just pin it straight from Etsy. I believe it's
Hmm.
so much more beneficial if you have your own site and you create
Yes.
content where you write about that product, why you created it, the purpose of it, create some killer, cool like photos of it, and then pin it from your website. And the reason too is because when people go to your website, it not only shows them a product, but it shows them all that valuable information about it.
Hmm.
And your website, from your course, I learned, is your lead generation. So even if they don't purchase it then, now that's also helped you with your brand, because now you're not branding Etsy or some other site. They know
Yep.
exactly where they came. Like they know they went to KenalLewis.com. They didn't just go straight
Yep.
to Etsy. So that's one benefit, the branding aspect of doing it that way. And then the
Mhm.
second one is the lead generation part, which is capturing their emails, or having a subscription form where people are subscribing because they would like to see more of that content from you. Um,
Yeah.
so that's why I don't pin like the artwork that I have online straight to Pinterest. I create
Yep.
blogs for it and it's working, and because it's working, I'm not going to change that. I'm
Yep.
only going to repurpose or create content um, to continue to build the blog because that's what I own. That's mine.
You don't own Etsy. And so if you were
No.
to put your artwork on Etsy, someone might come from Pinterest and check it out, but then get
Yeah.
distracted
Yeah.
and see all the other artwork there, and then you've lost them.
And
But
it's great. It's great to have a site like Etsy because of it's like having an Amazon store.
mhm.
Everybody, it's the credibility aspect of it because people already are familiar with it. It's like PayPal and so on. But if you're building a brand, you're building a business, you're building an identity for yourself, it's beneficial to have your own domain name, website, to build you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, how many sales have you made in the past 45 days?
In the last 45 days, I've sold 13 t-shirts. Yeah. So
And
I've
how
sold
many did you sell before?
zero.
Zero, zero. Okay, that's
So,
cool.
so in the last 45 days, I like 2 days ago, I sold a shirt and they just come. They just come like I get an alert on my phone, you made a sale. And I'm like, woohoo. And then I instantly
Woohoo! Isn't
I
that such a
instantly
cool feeling? You're like,
it's
hey.
it's like what I love about this is I don't have to DM or private message people and be like, hey, I have a new shirt out or I have a new art out. Please go support me, begging people to support me. Yeah, I don't want that. And
Mhm.
it's work. Like I put in the work, I created the content, but once I put that out, I pinned the images or I scheduled them on Tailwind to be repinned
Yeah.
over pinned over time. I kind of created it and it's automated, it's out there. So all I have to do,
Automated and it's working for
yes.
you.
So all I'm doing now is continually, consistently creating content, um,
Yep.
and and scheduling them, and it's continuing to grow. And it hasn't even been 2 months since I've like completed the course and actually started implementing everything. So I can't wait to see what happens at 3 months, at six
Yeah.
months, and a year from now. Because, like I said, in the last 45 days, I've sold 13 shirts. I've sold three large art prints, which
Wow.
I had a lady. She discovered me on Instagram, not on Instagram, on Pinterest, but then she found my Instagram account.
After that,
Yeah, right. And then
yeah.
she contacted me. She messaged me and she messaged me for an artwork I actually didn't have in my store online. So I had to myself go to get it printed. I mailed it to her, and like from that one person, I sold three large art prints. And
Wow.
I've gotten photos from her with the artwork, hanging in a kitchen, and it's so inspiring for me because it's like, oh, I definitely need to keep creating and doing this because it's not just an inspiring thing visually for other creatives, other artists, but for me, having my art in someone's home hanging on their
So
wall is
cool. That's gotta
like
feel like
whoa.
amazing.
Yeah, it's like whoa. It's like this is the impact I'm having, and someone found favor with what I created, and it's bringing something positive to their home, which is so awesome.
That is amazing. So, what's happened with your brand and just name recognition and Google? So, can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, yes. So let's talk about that. So, results. So you get results in so many ways. So, one of the other ways that I saw an improvement or growth in my identity or branding is my name, the search volume of my name. So, prior to taking the course and implementing things and getting things done through the use of Pinterest, I was getting like 20 monthly searches a month. So 20 people on average were going to Google and typing Kenel Lewis. Now it's over
Mhm.
200.
Wow, that's
So
huge.
so people are not only
Wow.
clicking from Pinterest to go to my website, but they're going on Google to be like, who is this Kenal guy? Or
Yeah.
I saw his logo on a pin. I didn't click on it, but now I'm Googling it, to find out more about this artist. Is it really an artist? And so I've seen that growth, and then the clicks also are increasing from Google because people are searching for me, on
Yeah.
Google. So again, it's been less than 2 months and my brand has 10x,
Explode
so,
10x.
so, so I
Wow.
can't wait, to give this a year to
Yeah.
see what happens after a year.
And so, have you been doing any ads on Pinterest?
No, I haven't paid for any ads on Pinterest, and my I've been tempted, because I've seen such an amazing result with Pinterest for free already. I'm
Yeah.
reaching over 4 million people. I don't have to pay for. I wrote a blog which I shared with you, and
Yeah.
it,
I'll put that in
I
the show notes so people can
yeah,
see it.
I spent how much did I spend? I spent, let me see if I can pull it up, but I spent over $2,000, and I believe I reached like
On
2 point
Facebook ads,
on
right? You spent
Facebook
over
ads,
$2,000 on Facebook ads.
and
Yeah.
I believe I reached around like 2.1 million people. Like
Yeah.
that's the reach that I got for $2,500, however much I spent. And with Pinterest, I'm getting 4 million a month consistently without paying for ads. So
Okay.
I was like, that's just insane. Yeah,
Yep.
I spent $2,900 to reach 2.3 million people on Facebook, and now I'm reaching 4 million. And I'm not spending a dime. So I've
Wow.
been tempted, like I said, to do the Pinterest ads, but I've told myself I'd rather wait and continue to put in this work and generate the organic and use my money to like invest in a better resource or something like that.
Yeah.
More
So I want to
education.
make sure people who are listening, they really understand like one of the main core strategies that you're doing to sell products with Pinterest. So it's having your own blog instead of like
Mm-hmm.
an Etsy shop or having your product somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's putting your products in a blog post and then being super detailed about that blog post. Is that
Yeah. Yes.
correct on how you've been
Yes.
doing it?
Yes. So as I mentioned with the blog, I talked about why I created the artwork, or sometimes I talk about the inspiration, which
Mhm.
kind of goes into the why, but the purpose of the artwork. And one of the things that I've realized work really well for me, which I would say would work for all artists, and the market is so big, everyone can do this. Is shirts. As I mentioned,
Mhm.
I've sold more shirts than I sold art, but at the same time, the artwork that I create are on the shirts. So
Yeah.
it's branding myself, because a person's gonna be walking around with my artwork on their shirt, and someone is
Yeah.
going to ask them, "Where did you get that shirt?" You know.
Yeah.
So I'm building brand ambassadors to every person that purchases a shirt. If you
Yeah.
think about it, um, and I work retail. I have experience in retail as an assistant manager, working for clothing companies. And one of the things that is like retail companies will have is they have brand ambassadors. I am literally creating brand ambassadors through Pinterest, reaching people, and then they're buying my shirts with my artwork on it and helping me build my brand. So
So
it's a complete cycle. And as I mentioned, like I'm doing that, and very soon I'm going to tap into doing more services like commission artwork. I haven't even used Pinterest for that purpose. You
oh,
know,
when you do though, like it's
you know,
gonna blow up.
so people will contact me to do portraits, birthday portraits for their kids. These are just ideas, but I haven't even done these. But there's so many ways of creative. Every business owner could use Pinterest. If you think of the creative way it can drive the lead to your business, and how you can use those leads and convert those leads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so exciting. Okay, let's talk quickly about what habits and disciplines have you implemented in your business that have really made a difference?
Whew, this is tough right here. I
Mm-hmm.
would say consistency. That's one
Okay.
of the habits, and somewhat, I guess, discipline as well. And by consistency, I'm referring to creating content consistently.
Yep.
And what's nice is with a tool like Tailwind, you can create a blog or two a week. I believe you create one a week. But like you
You
can
tell
create.
me, how often are you creating content?
I've been creating content insanely since I've seen the
You have?
results. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I've been creating like 3 to 5 blogs a week. I've slowed down this week.
Okay.
I believe this week, or the last week I did two, but prior to
Okay.
that, I was doing like 3 to 5 blogs a week. And
So just to clarify, within Pin with Purpose, my course, I teach doing one blog post per week. But because Kanal is insanely disciplined and he was so hungry for results when he went through the course, like he said, he went through the course in 3 days and he saw results right away with creating that content. So he's like, well, what if I just did more of it? And so that's what he did. Do you have to do that much content right off the bat? No, but you're insanely disciplined and you were so hungry for results and you've gotten them. So I just wanted to clarify that. And that's
Yeah,
crazy.
for me, it's like if I'm seeing this working with one blog, and if I can leverage my time, and I do have the time because first I'm single, I don't have, I don't have
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that relationships, I don't have that, not demand, but I don't have to worry about how my time is not helping or being spent with someone else, or,
Yeah.
and I'm not a person that goes out. I'm very introvert. Although I'm doing a
Yeah.
podcast with you, I'm a creative person. I am very much an introvert. I'd rather stay home
Yeah.
than go out. Anyway, so so I've used my time, and I figured that I could I can create 3 to 5 blogs a day, and then the artwork I already
A
have.
week, a week, a
Oh, a
week, a
week,
week,
a week, a
not a
week, a
day,
week. Not
because
a
that would
day,
be
not a day.
insanity.
Oh, yeah, that would be just no, that would be too much. But um, but no, I created 3 to 5 blogs a week, and like I said, I've slowed down in the last week because now I'm thinking of scaling. I'm thinking of how I can
Yeah.
grow, how I can really grow. So even more. But I was creating 3 to 5 blogs a week because I saw the results with just one.
Yeah.
And, as I mentioned, I've sold 13 shirts alone in the last 45 days prior to selling zero. And
Yeah.
no one, although my brand is building, I still consider it as no one knows who I am yet because it's 200, people searching for me a month, when there's brands that have built their business for years that are getting thousands or millions of searches a month. So
Yeah.
this is how I'm seeing it long term, how it's going to continue to build my brand, on
For
Pinterest.
sure.
I'm going to continue to sell shirts, I'm going to continue to sell art. Now it's just creating other more content, creating content that have higher prices for products, or limited edition art or limited edition shirts, and then continuing to build revenue to support my business for that way.
So cool. Okay, talk to us about mindset and how your mindset has made a difference in your business.
Mindset, discipline, habits. Um, One of the things that I've been working on, and I'm still working on, is positive, having a positive mindset every day, and not allowing myself to be stressed about getting so many things done. So I will create a plan of how much or how many things I would like to get done for the day. If I only get through 2 of 8 things, I'm good. I'm not like, oh, my day was wasted, or I got distracted, or this or that, but at least I got 2 things done out of 8. So it's
Yeah.
getting things done. I believe you said get done. Not, it's better to get things done, not perfect. I forgot exactly how you said it, but
I said done is better than
done
perfect
done is
because
better
so
than
many
perfect.
people are trying to make it perfect and they
Yeah,
never take action and it
and
never gets done.
this I love that done is better than perfect, and
Yeah.
it backs through that, not worrying, not stressing out about, oh, I need to do all these things for this to work. It's gonna work. Just implement things one at a time at your own pace. Not everyone's
Yeah.
like me and is gonna be able to create 5 blogs for like 2 3 weeks consistently, just to drive more results. But you don't have to. You can do one a week.
I
You
didn't.
know?
I've only done one per week consistently. But
Yeah,
again, like I didn't have the time because I was doing everything in my business when I
yeah.
first started. And I have a family too. So like it was not even possible. I was only
It's-
doing one per week. But for you, like it made sense. You had the extra time and you
yeah.
saw the results of creating content and you're like, well, I can just do more. Why
And
not?
the thing about relating to the content is, I kind of talked about the consistency earlier, is with Google. Google's a search engine itself. You can create as much content as you want, and
Yeah.
Google's not going to rank you for the content, and it's not going to give you the exposure that you can get with Pinterest from like pinning the right way. Um, and so I knew that, and because I've been blogging since 2011, and I mean, it's so hard. It was so hard to get traffic on Google, and even now, like my Pinterest traffic is like 10 times what I get organically on Google. So on yes. So more than more, and it's not even counting like Facebook, more than like 60% of the traffic I get to my website per month, like unique people visiting my site, comes from Pinterest. So
Cool.
I'm realizing that the blogs that I'm creating, I'm promoting on Pinterest, and it's naturally bringing the traffic. But not having a clear mind, being positive every day, having task, things written down every day to get done. Um, and also I'm working on meditating. I'm working on and visualization. I'm working on affirmation. I have a list I had on my wall, which I took down, which I need to rewrite, or type up. But I'm learning more about the power behind you speaking what you're going to do or where you're going to.
Absolutely.
Um, just real quick, I bought this book called "You Are a Dream," and I believe about a year and a half ago, in the book, it had like it asked you to write three goals that you want, or three dreams that you want to realize in the next year or next 5 years. And I did it in a year and a half, all three of them. And
Wow, that's so
yeah,
cool.
but I wrote it down and I believed, and
That's
I
huge.
put in some work for it. But one of them was to work from home, to be able to create more art, and the other one, gosh, to sell more art, I believe. And
Yeah.
I've done all three of these things in less than a year and a half after writing them down, from this book that I read. And these were my dreams, and I'm not done,
You're not
or
done. You're just
no,
getting
I'm
started.
I'm just getting started. So there's so much significance and power in writing things down and knowing that
Totally.
this is a goal I'm setting for myself. It's not only just a goal and a dream, but it every time you see it, or it should be somewhere where you can see, you're like, okay, I need to get to this. So
Hmm.
it's in a accountability factor, I would say, consciously and even subconsciously. Like it's
For
so
sure.
powerful.
I agree 100%. I started writing down my goals in the first person, I think in college, maybe even high school. And it's crazy some of the things that I wrote down that have actually happened. Like I wrote down I wanted to be in a top ranked infomercial, and that happened. Like that happened within that year. I wrote down that I wanted to win money for losing weight, and that happened. And I wrote
Uh-huh.
down like specific income goals that were the biggest stretch where I was like, it's not even possible, but it happened too. And like I'm just a huge believer in writing down goals. There's even studies. I was actually listening to Les Brown what is the name of that book? I was just listening to it. Are you familiar with Les Brown?
I am, which
Les
I need to
Okay, it's
listen to
called
more of his.
Breakthrough Overcoming Obstacles. And he was actually just, I've heard this before, but he was just saying yesterday, which made me think about it, that there's studies that show people who have written down clearly defined goals are, I don't know how many more times likely, but like a bazillion times more likely to actually reach them than people who don't write down their goals. And
Yeah.
so I think that's huge. So for anyone listening, I want you to actually write down your goals in the first person, have them clearly defined. So it
Yeah.
could be, I make $5,000 this month with my business, and something that is just very specific, clearly defined, and then tag me on Instagram at she's making the impact so I can see it because I love it when people do that. Um, what does it mean to you to make an impact?
To make an impact for me as a creative,
Yeah.
first I believe is to inspire. And it's to inspire positivity. It's to inspire change. It's to inspire others to want to better themselves. If you're doing that, you're making an impact, which
Mm-hmm.
you're doing. So it's pushing others to want to better themselves. It's all positive. You can make a negative impact, but but to truly make an impact, I believe, is to spark change. To spark change in thought, to spark change and and how people perceive things. It's
Yeah.
to inspire. I would say, yeah, to inspire. And for me, how I'm doing that is I have artists. Once in a while, I'll do a live stream on Instagram of me drawing live. And I have artists that'll come in for a few minutes or whatever and hang out with me. And then they'll ask me what pens I'm using. Or they ask me, how long have I been drawing? Or can I send you this to take a look at, and they'll message me their artwork and then
Yeah.
ask me for feedback. And it's like, oh, wow, they want to know what I think of their art. I'm not
That's
an
so
art
cool.
director or art teacher or anything, but okay, I'll gladly let you know, like with some pointers. And it's always positive. I never had that. And part of it is my introvert self is I even if I was to reach out to someone, it was like, oh, they're probably not gonna respond, or that
Yeah.
would discourage me from even messaging people anyway, because
Yeah.
some people won't respond, but you never know until
For
you
sure.
try. But I've
Yes.
connected with people like that. I've inspired other artists to want to develop their skills, to want to be better. Um, One of the goals, I have several goals. I have so many goals, but one of the goals that I have is as an artist every year to get better, every year to, and then by better, I mean every year to learn more about my business, learn more about how to sell my art. That's one. Learn more about skills, develop my skills. I haven't arrived yet. I'm not Leonardo da Vinci. I'm Kenal Lewis, and I have to work on Kenal Lewis and continue to build Kenal Lewis's skills. So every year I do get better because I
Yeah.
challenge myself to learn a new painting technique or a new drawing technique. I challenge myself to learn something new about colors, or about significance of colors, how colors affect our moods as human beings. I challenge myself to learn. And
Yeah.
I believe i've I've had this gift since I was 13, to or passion to learn as well. So I have passion for art, but I also have passion to learn, because I believe through learning, the pen with purpose, anything, through learning you grow, and growth is going to happen. I believe Dr. Miles Monroe, he said growth is going to, or change is going to happen whether you want it to or not. Now your decisions and your planning will determine the type of change you want in your life. So yeah.
Yep. I love that. Where can we connect with you?
Everything is
Pinterest. I'll put everything in the show
yeah.
notes so people can stalk your blog and your Pinterest and really check out what you're
I
doing.
would say everything is Pinterest. Just search me on
Yeah.
Pinterest, Kenal Lewis, and go to the people tab. And I should be right there. Or you can go to kenallewis.com. Everything else is kind of like linked from the website, kenallewis.com. That's it.
Well, it's been an absolute joy to watch you grow and to work with you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Rachel.
All right. Well, thank you, and we'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day or good night.
Yeah.